What's good? It's BrittanySunshyne. Welcome to Flower and Fire, where we revelate, reflect, and remember to dig deep as we keep each other company along the way. And don't forget to believe in your daydreams. Let's dive in.
What's good? I hope this message finds you at a resonant time. I'm going to get right into it. So many cards came out. Just so you know, I was already on my way to bed, but I couldn't get into sleep mode. It was that thing, that kind of feeling where it's like there's something more that you have to do. And I tried to ignore it because I was really comfortable and exhausted, but I'm like, okay, fine, here we go. So anyway, I said to the spirit, I mean it in the most respectful way. Me and spirit are tight, so I hope people don't think I'm being disrespectful, but I was like, you better bring a message because I'm getting up for this. Anyway, I am grateful to be a messenger. Don't ever get it twisted. I'm humbled, grateful, happy about it. Not that false humility kind of crap, but just I understand. I have the proper respect here. Okay, so we give thanks and listen. The first two cards that came jumping out, and they came out together. One of them is Dream Come True, and the next one is Prepare to Check Things Off Your List. Dream Come True, prepare to check things off your list. And the next ones are You Are a Light to This World. You may not realize, and the specific message that came with this is part of being a light to the world is having things work out for you. How in the world, and this is where religion is just so bunk, when they try and sell us this concept that the creator is going to draw people to him by all this pain and suffering and this perpetual misery. There's a reason that they cut the book off way back then, because they didn't want us to actually really witness what happened and what's happening post-resurrection, Christ consciousness reigning, ruling. It is so now. It could be so now, You can surf realities, and it's important that we all get onto the same page about the highest timeline potential so that we can eradicate the darkness just by being the light. And being the light comes with benefits. There's a benefits package to make yourself choosable is what I'm saying. What that means is this. It's kind of what's a good example? It's kind of once again, full circle back to the ninja warrior analogy that I always bring, and it's just one of the best ones. First of all, you got to choose to want to try, okay? That's prerequisite number one. You have to be yeah, I actually want to go for this. I want to apply myself, and I'm choosing to make some specific sacrifices that come with that, which may involve not eating certain things, not drinking certain things, not going certain places, because now I'm going in this direction and I'm focused on the goal and blah, blah, blah. Okay, I feel like the analogy explains itself, does it not? So that's the whole thing. When people are, it's everybody came here with a purpose. Everybody came here with a divine thing that they could choose to do. But you have to choose it. You have to protect it, put boundaries up, gate systems to protect, whatever it is, your time or your energy, your frequency, your mood, Kids are the ultimate boot camp for mood control. Am I right? Okay, let's get back to the cards. So dream come true, prepare to check things off your list. You are a light to the world. And that's what I was hearing is having your dreams come true, and you being that highest vibe, highest timeline version of yourself is part of being a light to the world. Checking the things off your list, having your dreams come true, Those are parts of it because the Creator designed it that way. Like, it should be like those are, and what I mean is I feel like we grew up in the church being shown like all of the good holy people are broke missionaries that have to beg the church for money. You know what I'm saying? I was always like, this seems weird. Just didn't align with like the spirit of infinite possibilities. Like, it didn't align with that. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that was a Freudian slip, because it's like the spirit that they present is like infinite impossibilities, you know, and that's why they have to shake people down to like make the word go. When the spirit can encounter people at any moment in their living room, no matter what, even when they're not going to church. What? Oh my gosh. That's sarcasm in case you don't know me. Okay, so dream come true. Prepare to check things off your list. You are a light to the world. You have access to miracles. By the way, okay, I've kind of like, I juggle these kind of revelation moments. I'm like, because trust me, I've been in every posture where there's some postures when somebody's delivering like this kind of hope-filled message. There's like one angle, depending on my like sleep, my body, how its health level, my annoyance level, my, you know, triggered level. Like, so depending on all these variables, there are times where I receive these messages and I'm either like, heck yeah, like this is it. This is the notification in my timeline. Yeah, you know, and then there's some times where I'm like, yeah, sure enough, like there's another confirmation. Yep, it's coming through. And then there's sometimes where it's like, right, you know, like, sure, you said that last time. So it's so funny how our attitude can dictate like how we process and digest and like sow seeds of belief or not, you know, just based on the attitude that we have. So anyway, trust me, I've been all of those, and I just try and make sure that the majority of the time I'm at the very least like have my faith initiated as currency. It's like, what's the worst that could happen? But I will say though, hope deferred, this is literally a scripture, hope deferred makes the heart sick, something like that. So when you're believing for something and you've expected it to like come by now because you're believing so big for it, you're like, I can practically taste it in the freaking ether. And then when it doesn't come, like, and it's been confirmed, you know, by a bunch of people, a bunch of earth angels, a bunch of divine ones, as well as the spirit, you know, and then when it doesn't happen in the human timeline that you would expect, it's like, what the freaking heck, you know? And it can be very discouraging. And that's why I do my very best to not ever attach to a timeline with like human specificity, and instead just remain in like the it is nowness of it all. There's something to that. It's kind, you know, and it's a discipline, and it's not just a what's that word? It's not just a barrier to disappointment or like some, you know, imaginary, you know what I'm saying? I hope you are. I hope you know. I'm going to keep going. Cattle on 1,000 Hills, again, by the way, I almost put the card back because I'm like, we've been talking about this. Why are we bringing this out again? Maybe we all need to like look up more about that, research more of that, because Spirit is talking about that yet again. Manifestation come to fruition. Ignore the 3D. Okay, it's not what it seems. It's literally a card. Have awareness of the ripple effect. Have awareness of the ripple effect. This is like of our words. Man, and trust me, like, that's one of those things that if I'm not perfect with my attitude and words, it really stresses me out. But there's grace for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not about perfection. It's just, I feel like it's about always getting back to baseline, like getting back to baseline. And the faster you get back to that healthy, good vibe baseline, and it doesn't always have to be like, I'm so excited, like this crazy, like energetic. It doesn't have to be that. It can just be like peace, you know, where you're in total like relaxation mode of knowing that everything is handled, everything is like being figured out, and you're safe here, and just being like, so anyway, awareness of the ripple effect, always getting back to that baseline. And like what I've observed in the literal picture of sound waves is like low vibe is like deep, wide troughs that go up, and then it's like high, wide troughs and down. And then with high vibe, it's like they get closer together. And so it's kind of like it made me think about like when I started to observe, I'm getting back to my like baseline. It's taking me like trauma triggers are being transmuted faster than they used to, things like that, and I'm like, those are indications of healing. It's like, oh man, like if that had happened before, it would have taken me out for a week, of sorrow and like trying to process through that all. And like now, if that dust is kicked up, it just takes me a couple hours instead. Like it's huge. And it's kind of like a reflection of the majority vibration that you're residing on. Like the higher the majority of your surrender, faith, whatever that divine frequency is that you're living on, it's like the more that you tend to it and return to caring for it, the faster and more effective you are at transmuting through the pollution. So anyway, have awareness of the ripple effect, and that also goes with when you make decisions. Like this is a legit example, real life example. It's like, okay, sometimes I want to live a little, so I'd go out, like go to a show, and like have really great times. And it's like, okay, so I had to choose, am I okay with the ripple effect of having, a beer? Am I okay with the ripple effect of having 2 beers? Like, what's the ripple effect of blah, 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 blah? And so anyway, that's the kind of thing where it's like, how is this going to impact my overall vibe, my overall mood, wellness, ability to like do my responsibilities? How is it going to affect my like hopelessness? Alcohol is a real gut killer. So if you think you're somebody who like struggles with what you would call anxiety, and then especially if you think that drinking helps it could be the complete opposite, and it's just this like self-fulfilling gut punch that's actually making things harder on yourself in the long run. So yeah, that's something good to know in case you've never thought about it like that, or you didn't try it. Because guess what? You are the generational curse breaker. I was having this revelation about a lot of things, and this is no offense or no like, this is not against the goodness of the former generation at all. This is because they were tricked. Like, think about it. Before our parents and grandparents, before that, there was just like food, like normal food, not this processed, bioengineered stuff that, and then think about like medicine. They used to just use herbs, and now all of a sudden we're doing all these pharmaceuticals so that we can make people money. And it turns out that a lot of the stuff is poison, really. A lot of it is poisonous. And then they claim that they're going to fix the things that the poison broke within the human body, and they say they're going to fix it with more poison, but really the more poison just does a different kind of damage to the body. Anyway, so my point is, you are the generational curse breaker, and I was thinking about it today, and the things that I do or don't give my kids based on the stuff that I learned as an adult. And I was like, this is the first generation where we might all have to like not just take our parents' advice automatically, because they may have been lied to. And I'm sure that there's forms of this in lots of different generations, but ours is definitely when it comes to like what we do with our kids when it comes to food and supposed quote unquote medicine, because there's it's crazy because all of us who are like pure moral people, you would never fathom that they would be lying to you about something so important. Many of us didn't know that kind of evil even exists here. And that's one of those really, really hard, difficult lessons to learn. And then on the flip side, there are some people that are like, no, I knew that evil existed here. Like you've had experiences that you should have never had. So then there's those people, but maybe some of those people don't know that there's a way out, that there's divinity, that there's divine backup that will miraculously, supernaturally, like breaking the laws of this realm as we know them in order to change things for the better, for your lineage, for you and your children and your children's children. So we're being reminded to activate and meditate with the third eye, the divine promises that you've been shown and given. Continue visualizing them. Stay devoted to your divine identity. And this devotion is the thorn in your side. So true. Oh, so true. Being my divine identity has been one of those things that just like, up until this point in my life, it was the thing that made me feel so different than like any people group I was with. I don't like sit here and do this with another person. You know what I'm saying? This is all just me in spirit. And like I've evolved now to love that. I've come to really, really appreciate and honor that. And it's like the greatest gift. But as a person trying to find my place in the 3D human experience, it was very confusing and felt isolating. And so, anywho's, okay. So we just pray healing to the wounds, and we celebrate the healing that's available to us. And then lastly, I pulled the card Bravery. You're being asked to make a tough decision that you've been putting off because of fear, which is understandable. But you do have the strength and the bravery to make this decision, and you will feel so much lighter when you do. So anyway, I manifest that this finds exactly who it's for, and I hope it brings some encouragement to your day. I strongly believe that this message is indeed for whoever's listening because, like I said, I really felt the nudge to come and do this reading before I went to bed. So I'm trusting that this is for somebody. And just so you know, new readings are released every Tuesday and Thursday at 10 a.m. Pacific, and new podcast episodes release every Friday evening. Oh my gosh, I just have to give the biggest thank you for you being here, for you spending this time with me and coming back every week. I just hope that the content that is released through me is beneficial to your journey, and that the golden nuggets will help you like breadcrumbs along the way. And even better than breadcrumbs, I hope they help you feast. Thank you so much for everyone who has given generously, being a part of the community here. Your presence is truly valued and appreciated, and I hope that it returns to you multiplied. Just a reminder that on SeedSoilWater.today there are freebies that I hope will help you along your journey. I really hope that you find value here, and just know that you are valued here. Be blessed, be well, be free.